Ladies and gentlemen, it's 6 o'clock. Let's get the show on the road, so I'm calling the meeting to order. The roll call's been taken electronically. This meeting of the Ripon Area School District Board of Education has been properly noticed in accordance with the open meeting law and state statute 19.84 and related legal references. The statement of our district vision is one of Wisconsin's finest school districts, fostering excellence for all through innovation. And our first item, because we moved the agenda from previously, as long as we have so many people here, it's nice to have them, we'll go to our student representative report.
So my name's Emarisa. I'm a senior at Ripon High School, and I've been coming to the board meetings and just sharing about what's been going on around the high school. So recently we had an NHS induction night and scholarship night. This was last Wednesday. It went very long, which is a good thing. That means a lot of scholarships getting handed out, and a lot of people were welcomed into NHS, while the seniors like myself were given cords as we graduate this weekend. We also have been having a lot of AP testing for college credit, stats, calc, Spanish, all of it's been taking place in this room in the library. So that's been kind of chaotic in the school, but we're getting it all done. And then I have robotics on here. They're here today, so I'll let them say what's been going on with them, but they have some really cool things going on. Sports. Softball recently won conference, and they currently have a 17-5 record. This is the first time in a while that they've won conference, so it's good stuff going on there. And then baseball got to play in the American Family Field this past week for a game of theirs. I know it was a close game. I think it was 7-6. We lost, but overall it was a great experience. And then track is preparing for conference, which is tomorrow, and it's being hosted at Adams Friendship. And then preparing for regionals and sectionals, which happens next week. And then tennis also recently came away with a win on the road against Wayland Academy 4-3. So then upcoming events at the high school, the seniors have officially begun their final week in high school. So we graduate on Saturday, we have senior sunset tonight, baccalaureate on Wednesday, and then we have graduation practice Friday along with the caravan on Saturday, and then following that will be a ceremony. And then finals for the rest of the students will begin the first week of June to finish out the year. So that's all I have. So thank you guys for having me this year. It's been great coming every Monday and just talking to you guys. You guys hearing me act about everything going on, so I appreciate everything. So,
Thank you. You've done a great job. Thank you.
Wonderful job. Congratulations on your graduation.
thank you. I'm excited.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
And you're not going to stick around?
I gotta go to senior sunset.
Oh, yeah. A little bit.
Busy day.
All right. Recognition of the Odyssey Virtual School Celebration.
For the end of the year, we wanted to honor our seniors. So we reached out to the senior class and had them talk about their experience at Odyssey and give a nice video.
Yeah, we got about 5 kids, just asking for about 30 seconds to a minute about their experience at Odyssey Academy, and in fact, it's had on them as a student. So we'll get to hear from them and let them have any discussion after.
we can't hear.
I unfortunately cannot. It's supposed to be going through the projectors, but it is not right now, and I didn't want to change anything.
Try this. What we need to do so we can. Everybody okay if we pause it so we can listen to it?
What
That's the
if
most
we-
important thing.
What if we took these plug-in speakers here and moved them up there and then moved them back? That's what I use on my device.
Here.
Let's go Carolina. They're gonna get a pay raise.
Hi, my name is Mara Brown, and my post-graduation plans are nursing assistant.
Hello everyone, my name is Vincent Cross, and I'm the principal at Odyssey Academy of Virtual Learning. As you continue to watch, we have the privilege of hearing directly from the voices that matter most, our students. These graduating seniors will share how their experience at Odyssey has shaped their learning, growth, goals, and lives beyond the classroom. Their stories are a reflection of the relationships, opportunities, and resilience that defines who we are and why Odyssey is an essential educational option within the Ripon Area School District and for all students statewide.
Hi, I'm Natalie Graywater, and I've been with Odyssey since 7th grade. Through my plans, I'm currently taking classes at Madison College, thanks to Start College Now, and I will continue thereafter I graduate high school. I would like to study abroad through Madison College and hopefully transfer to W Madison to get a PhD in clinical psychology. Odyssey focused on project-based learning, helping me engage with school a lot more than I did before when I was homeschooled. I think this sparked a curiosity in me, which gives me a drive for learning. Before, when I was homeschooled, I was less focused on growth, but rather checking my schoolwork off a list. But when I started taking classes with Odyssey, the teachers pushed me to find things that interested me and to explore and set goals for growth. I developed a skill of positive risk-taking because of project-based learning and my teachers' one-on-one support. I think the biggest thing I want to carry forward is just my love for learning and challenging myself. I think this skill will power me through the many years of schooling that I am planning to do in the future.
Hi, my name is Mara Giles, and my post-graduation plans are being a nursing assistant until I can fully understand what I want to do for my career. Odyssey's impacted my life through helping me have a deeper understanding for what I'm learning about. Odyssey has helped improve my work ethic and communication skills. I have great academic counseling in Odyssey, which has helped push me toward success. And I will carry forward good memories of conversations and laughs that were held in class.
My name is Olga Ellis, and I'm graduating this year. Next year I will be staying at Accurate Controls, and after that I might be going to college. Odyssey has been super helpful for me because I'm able to work and go to school at the same time, which otherwise would not have been possible. I love the fact that I can go to work and when I have classes, go to my classes, and then after that get right back to work. Because I learned so many valuable skills that I otherwise may have not been able to learn. And I think one big thing that I'll take away from this year was not being a procrastinator, like getting your work done, turning everything in on time, because it's super important to be on top of all the stuff you have to do. Even if you're busy, you still have to get everything done. And I think that was probably the most important thing that I took away.
Hi, I'm Kate Kress, and I'm a senior at Odyssey Academy of Virtual Learning. And after I graduate, I will be attending Indiana Wesleyan University online pursuing my undergraduate degree in aviation management. If somebody were to ask me how Odyssey has impacted my life, my academic management, and my success or progress for graduation, I will tell you that the teachers are involved in my learning and push me to take positive risks to grow as a student. Odyssey has taught me that I am responsible for my learning and my academic success. I would also tell you that Odyssey is set up similar to college, making this next transition easier.
Hi there, my name is Eliana, and I've been a student at Odyssey for almost 5 years. It'll be 5 years when I graduate. And honestly, Odyssey has been an incredible experience for me. Because it's an online school, I've been able to tailor and personalize my academic experience during high school, and that has meant a lot to me. And because of that, I've been able to take college courses, I've even been able to take classes that I wouldn't have been able to in an in-person school. And of course, as you guys all know already, my teachers were all fantastic. They encouraged me, they pushed me, they cheered for me, and they celebrated wins with me. And that was really important for my growth in high school, and is something that I'm going to take with me as I go into further education. But all that being said, have an amazing rest of your year. Keep up your studies. You guys are doing amazing. And I hope that next year goes wonderful for everybody. Bye.
So it's just 5 of the students from the graduating class, but that graduating class is quite exceptional. It's an exceptional group of individuals for sure. And some of the things that they are going to even do starting this summer is going to be pretty cool to see. So I'm excited for them.
Are any of them participating in the graduation ceremony on Saturday?
This is our first year that none of them wanted to.
We do a senior celebration that happened this last week. That's almost a mini ceremony that staff and parents attend. So typically only less than 10%.
Last year was our highest attendance rate for graduation. I think we had 6. But this year we only had 8.
Anything else? Awesome, that was very interesting, thank you. All right, next we ask the RHS robotics team to come forward.
All right, so this is part of our robotics team. I didn't really come prepared to say anything, but I am now. So we are coming off our most successful season ever. We started in 2019, and this year we made it all the way to World, which I think shocked a lot of us. So we compete in 2 district events. The first one was week 1, and we placed 6th. And we're captains of Alliance 4. And we also brought home our very first Judges Award in our history. The team received the Quality Award for building a lightweight but structurally sound robot that didn't break. So that is huge when you have 120-pound robots hitting each other non-stop throughout a competition. Then we competed at week 4 where we actually placed 2nd. We placed 3rd, but we're captains of Alliance 2. At that one, we partnered with 2 other teams and made it all the way to the finals. We had to go 3 rounds. Unfortunately, we lost, but took 2nd place, which earned us a spot at state where the top 36 teams from the state compete. I think this year there was like 74 teams in the state, so the top half go to competition. There, we also did really well and placed 3rd against the top team. We were invited to join Alliance 2. We did not make it to the playoffs, or to the finals, but did really well. And we also brought home another award. That one was the Judges Award, as they liked our partnership with Alliance Laundry, as we have mentors. Devin here, we have YA students in Thomas, and we've had a YA partnership with them for years with members on our team. So from that, the top 600 teams in the world get invited to Worlds, which was in Houston, Texas. We had 8 days from the time we qualified to the day we had to be in Texas, which means we had to fundraise, buy flights, get hotels, figure out how to feed these kids, and transport them around Houston in a week. But the Ripon community was fantastic, and we raised all of the funds that we need. And then we competed there. We were in the Galileo division with teams from 22 states and 6 countries, including Israel, Turkey, China, Mexico, Canada, I want to say is what they were. The team did great. One match, this was kind of my highlight, and I'll ask them to give their highlight. Mine was, there was one match, we were paired with a team from Israel and a team from Turkey. So not only did they have to come up with a strategy with teams that didn't speak English, but figure out how to work together so that we would hopefully beat the other alliance, which they did. We placed 48 out of the 75 teams in our division. So I guess I should have started off and had them introduce themselves. So we're going to end with that. So I will have them introduce themselves. They can say if they had like a role, like we have drive team, we have scouters, things like that, or a build team. What grade they're in, say your grade, your name, and your favorite, something from World that you like. Rose, sure.
Yeah. My name is Rose Slattery. I'm a freshman. This is my first year on the team. I kind of just did a little bit of everything. I built Puzzle Robot, did a bit of coding, scouting. I hope to be on the drive team next year, though.
My name is Gavin. I am a freshman, and this is my first year in robotics. I really liked at the world competition being able to see all the different teams from like all the different places. It really put in perspective how large this competition was.
My name is Nathan Hansen. I'm a senior. I was part of the drive team. And this is also my first year. It was just a crazy experience to just join and become a drive team member and make it to Worlds in the first set of time ever doing this. It was just a crazy experience.
My name is Thomas Hine. I'm the technician and also part of the build team. I really like seeing everyone's ideas to the same problem. We had a problem that was released in January and everyone came up with 600 different ideas how to complete it.
I'm Mike Reeder. I'm a sophomore. This is my second year on the team. I'm part of the build team and the drive team. My favorite part of Worlds was when our driver went over the ramp and landed on top of another robot.
My name is Derek Violet. I'm a junior. This is my first year on the team, and I'm only through scouting. And I think I didn't go to Worlds, but my favorite part of the competitions is definitely seeing all the different teams and the teamwork that happens between them.
Hi, my name is Gregory Seltz. I am a senior. This is my second year on the team. I am the team's safety captain as well as the build team. My favorite part was probably just seeing Texas or flying on a commercial airplane for the first time. That was pretty cool.
I'm Devin Schneider. I'm one of the mentors. This is my second year helping out. And one of my favorite parts this year was just seeing how this set of students would take on multiple roles on help. If we needed some bolts checked, people would go and check it. If we needed a part made, they'd be willing to learn how to make that part. If we needed, balls to test out the shooter, they would go and grab them. So this is a good set of kids that are willing to do what it takes to get where we needed to go.
Dylan. I'm also on the robotics team.
So Dylan is our lead code mentor, and so he's been very instrumental in getting our robot to where it is and teaching kids programming and getting us out there. And we're going to keep working, so we're going to do some off-season events because I have learned robots never end. It will never leave the library, so we will be practicing all summer long for we're graduating a lot of these kids. Our lead driver is coaching or repping a soccer game right now, so he is not here, but he is also a senior. So we're losing a lot of kids. So we're hoping to gain some more as we are a very small team. Most teams are about 30 to 50 kids. We have 8. So the fact that we made it Worlds with 8 kids and being from a small town of Ripon, there's not many teams our size. So I'm proud of that. Yeah. There's nobody else like us. So, well, let me tell you, planning flights and everything for only 8 kids, perfect. And teams that were flying 30 kids. So we want to thank everybody's support because we couldn't do this without the community support, especially our Worlds. So, thank you. Oh, yeah.
Can I
You
ask
guys have questions? Yeah.
I have two for sure.
Put them on the spot.
I'm gonna show my age, but I remember watching on TV, the Robot Wars. Is that similar to what you guys are doing, or?
We don't get to destroy stuff. They frown upon that, but otherwise.
I believe the rules explicitly says no bad.
Can't.
You can walk them off.
Yeah, you can.
So just the same type of, where it's a competition against the other robots, that's why the drive team and whatnot.
Yeah.
And a scout team to go watch the other matches to see what they do and try to combat them.
So every match is 3 teams versus 3 teams.
Okay.
So you work with a group of 3 to get the most points. So scouting is very important so you can see how the robots that you're with actually work, but also how to stop the robots that you're against from scoring.
Okay. All right. And then my second question is just really stupid. Who came up with the attire for at the Worlds? I saw Facebook posts with the Origin Black overalls.
We had a senior on our team last year, our only girl last year, who said the kids needed to accessorize a little bit, and that was the only thing we could also get a team of mostly guys to do. So I love them because if I'm looking for them in this pit, like there were 65,000 people in the competition. You can see our overalls wherever you want. So I love it because you can see them, they stand out. And there are other teams that also do wear overalls, so.
That was awesome. Congratulations, thank you.
Demonstrate sometime. Like,
Yes.
I would love to see a demonstration. So do you guys get like a problem every year? Okay.
So every January they get a new task. So they have 8 weeks before the first competition to build. I mean, our robot's like, I don't know, 120 pounds. It's about yay big. And you start from scratch every January. So it's a lot. And they do it, so they put in a lot of hours. Any other questions before I release them?
One question, so what is one strategy that you saw another team use that just blew your mind? You're like, wow, I never thought to do that. Was there anything like that you saw at Worlds?
I didn't see this at Worlds, but I saw a video of another team.
Okay.
They used magnets to climb a metal ladder up probably 5 feet.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
I remember when I was scouting, I saw a team that had like 2 independent turrets moving from one another that could individually aim towards the goal.
Oh yeah, and you guys remember the one with the bumpers that were like curved up so
Oh,
that
yeah,
they wouldn't get
yeah.
beached on the balls? So that was a big problem. Your robot would get stuck on like your group of balls.
Okay. Cool. Very cool.
And I will say, not only did these kids build a robot in 8 weeks, they built a second one.
Yes.
They built a brand new robot, and that's what we took to State and Worlds.
Really?
So we took the same robot to week 1 and week 4, and then they saw from week 1 what they thought could be improved on, and they built a whole new second robot. So
That is awesome.
nobody does that. So that was pretty cool.
Awesome. Thank you all.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
Very exciting.
All right, next on the list is the verbal recognition of our retirees, and I'm going to turn it over to the Valerie again.
Thank you, Chris, appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Really want to extend a huge thank you to all of our retirees, and we're going to take the opportunity now to celebrate each of you individually, and I'm going to ask Mr. Zamos to get us started.
Okay, so we got Jen Duffy, the 6th grade team. Jen Duffy is a part of our 6th grade team to teach us 6th grade social studies. Wanted to say a couple things before I did, so I'm going to turn over to Renee Schaaf, one of our 6th grade teachers, to start things off.
I just told her not to look at her. Okay. We've had the absolute pleasure of having Jen part of the 6th grade team for 7 years. During that time, she has done so much more than teach social studies. She has helped students navigate the transition from elementary to middle school and made learning come alive in her classroom. Jen has always believed that students should understand their place in the world, and every year worked hard to make sure they knew the states, geography, and how everything connects globally. A new curriculum meant she used this last year, her last one, planning new activities and simulations. It took a lot of time, but it filled her classroom with the organized chaos of group activities and a lot of play. Jen started her career with chalk and chalkboards, and RMS introduced her to a whole new world of technology. At RMS, she learned how to use Google Classroom, Edpuzzle, and BrainPop, to name a few. The smartboard was not always her friend, and at times was a source of great frustration, but she laughed at herself when stumped and never let it stop her from trying something new. Always willing to go with the flow, Jen led us in yoga breaks and supported our many schedule changes. She provided chocolate on tough days, 100 grams was the absolute favorite, and laughter with her stories when we needed it. She always made herself available for team retreats and planning. Her knowledge, dedication, and love of teaching were apparent, even on the tough days. There is no way to explain what she has meant to us as a team. Congratulations on your retirement. We miss you already, JD.
Do you want to say standing? JD is the nickname she gave herself. So everyone's clear on that. Okay, I'm going to start with a little, yeah, they need it. I'm going to start with a little history first. Jen has dedicated 33 years to education.
7 on that board.
I'm getting to that part. Beginning her career in El Paso, Texas, where she taught 6th grade ELA and social studies for 5 years. She then moved back to Wisconsin, spending a year in Green Lake teaching 2nd grade, before making a 20-year stop in Berlin, mostly teaching 3rd grade. Then, I think we all can agree, she made the smartest decision of her career, joining us here in Ripon for the last 7 years in 6th grade social studies. When Jen first told me that she would be retiring at the end of this school year, my initial response was, congratulations on an incredible career, and thank you for your contribution to education. Pretty standard response. After about a week that I had to process, I went back to Jen and asked her, are you sure you don't have a couple more years? For context, her husband will be retiring in a couple years, so I thought they could go out together. That was just one idea I had. We laughed, but I was only half joking. Jen responded by saying she felt she was too old for this generation and sometimes had a hard time relating to the new students. But this could not be farther from the truth. The way Jen shows up for students and colleagues day in and day out is exactly what you hope any educator would aspire to do throughout their career. Actually, right now it's hiring season, and one common interview question candidates ask us is, what qualities are you looking for in a new teacher? The answer is a little long. It's someone who is a team player, knows their content well, can deliver it in a creative and engaging way that helps students connect learning to their own lives. Someone who meets students where they are, balances empathy with high expectation, adapts to diverse learning needs, and brings humor and positivity into both the classroom and our staff culture. So in short, we're looking for the next Jen Duffy. Jen, I want to officially congratulate you again on your retirement and wish you nothing but the best in your next chapter. Thank you for the dedication, care, and impact you have had here in Ripon, and in every community fortunate enough to have had you on their team over the last 33 years. Our staff, students, community, and myself are all better because we've had the opportunity to learn from you over your career. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate being able to be in the district. It's been wonderful to be able to work and to live within the same community and to be able to be with my family as well. Everyone has always made me feel so welcome here. The RMS staff is wonderful, absolutely wonderful, and that is the hardest to leave are these people. So thank you very much. I'm still going to be teaching. It's just going to be a different content and a different age. I do yoga, so I'm towards the senior center. So thank you very much for everything.
At this time, we're going to ask Jonah Adams to celebrate our next two retirees.
Yes. Okay. Jen, do you want to stand up? I liked how Danny did that. At the bar up here. All right, so today we are celebrating Jen Furch and her retirement, and I feel very fortunate to have had the opportunity to work alongside her for the past 7.5 years. Jen began working for the district in June of 1994, and she served as the bookkeeper for 19 years, building a level of expertise that made her a cornerstone of our school district operations. Jen was meticulous in her work. Her deep understanding of our financial systems meant that our annual audits were a breeze. She had a sharp eye for detail and a strong sense of accountability, which helped us avoid tens of thousands of dollars in unnecessary or incorrect charges by questioning or correcting vendor billing. Probably every year she saved us tens of thousands of dollars. Jen always wanted what was best for the district. Her 3 children went to RESD, and she never had divided loyalties. In addition to being known for her legendary attention to detail, she was also known for her skill as a chef, who was willing to try new things and share them with her colleagues, which we all appreciated. On a personal level, Jen also played an important role in my career development when I became a business manager. She was very patient, willing to share her knowledge of school district accounting, and helped me grow into my role in ways that I will always appreciate. Working with her has been one of the most important professional experiences that I've had. So thank you for all of your work, Jen.
I'm kind of at a loss. I guess it went really fast, you know, but growing in this school district, we are constantly learning and changing, and so it's amazing how quickly it went, but I got to be a part of a huge team, and none of us could have done any of it by ourselves. So I'm thankful to all of the people that I got to work with over my time.
We're also here to recognize and celebrate the retirement of Sally Albrecht, who I've had the privilege of working with for nearly 8 years. Sadly, Sally joined the district in December 2015 and was known for her strong organizational skills and steady, dependable work in accounts payable. Sally maintained exceptionally organized records and brought consistency and care to every aspect of her role. She also made a meaningful financial impact on the district year after year, identifying better pricing opportunities, ensuring that sales tax was removed from invoices, and consistently looking for ways to improve efficiency in our processes. Her work created significant savings for the district each year. She probably also saved us tens of thousands of dollars. Like Jen, Sally's 3 children attended RESD. She was completely dedicated to the district, and she too was known both for her baking and for her sharp sense of humor, which led to the nickname Sassy Sally. Sally's work happened behind the scenes. She was always willing to serve others, which is a rare trait. Her attention to detail and commitment to doing things the right way made a real difference, and Sally will be sincerely missed.
Thank you. I worked like 35 years in manufacturing, so going to a school district was a little bit of a culture change, but I really enjoyed working with everybody. It's just a really great group of people. Everybody works together, and I really enjoyed it. So, thank you.
So I get the privilege to talk briefly about our last 2 retirees. So first I'd like to invite Jolene to stand up. It is often said that the most important people in an organization aren't the ones with the loudest voices, but the ones who keep the melody moving. For the past 23 plus years, Jolene hasn't just been the melody of this district. She's been the rhythm, the harmony, and the heart. Jolene's career here is a beautiful map of service. She began by working directly with our students as a teacher's aide, providing the extra layer of support that makes all the difference in a classroom. She then took the reins of the Brave After School program, creating a safe, vibrant space for our kids long after the final bell had rung. Finally, she moved into the district office, serving as an executive assistant to many superintendents and as our public relations specialist. In those roles, she became the face of our district, and we couldn't have asked for a better one. Her greatest attribute has always been her genuine care and concern for others. Whether you were a nervous parent, a stressed teacher, a visiting official, a sweating new superintendent, Jolene has a rare ability to make everyone feel comfortable and welcome. You never just stopped by her desk. You were greeted, heard, and helped. She is the master of articulate communication. In her PR role, she consistently found the right words to tell our district's story, ensuring the community saw the heart of what we do. Behind the scenes, her attention to detail and organizational skills are that of legend. She manages the impossible, anticipates needs before they arise, and does it all with a level of reliability that provides a sense of peace to the entire administrative team. If Jolene was handling it, you knew it would be done perfectly. Jolene, you have been the steady hand through every challenge and the first to celebrate every success. You've looked after our superintendents, our board, our staff, and our image, but most importantly, you've looked after us. As you transition into this next chapter, we hope you finally take some of that care and attention you showered on this district and gift it to yourself. May your retirement be as beautiful and welcoming as the environment you created for us every day. Thank you for everything, Jolene, and most importantly, for being a confidant and friend. Let me make sure I give you the right one. There you go. You are welcome.
Wow, that was really nice. So thank you very much, everybody. It's been a pleasure to work with all of you. I think most everybody in this room I've had an opportunity to work with at some point in some way, shape, or form. And I think the thing that I've always said to people is that RESD offers people opportunities, and I certainly was a beneficiary of those opportunities. When I was able to start working in the BRAVE program, that was a program that I was really proud to be a part of. I think it served many, many families in a really good way for a really long time. It morphed and changed many, many, many times while I was working in it and after I left. And again now, it's sunsetted and we're doing something new. And I think that's one of the greatest things that we can do as a district is to keep evolving and keep changing. And I know that that's the goal of all of your administrators, school board members that are here. You have a fantastic team of leaders. They are talented. They have strong hearts. Everything that they do is focused on students. I had the privilege to work with two really wonderful superintendents, two very different superintendents, but two very talented superintendents and people that are of high, high, high integrity, both of them, as is your admin team. So please continue to support them. I'll be supporting you all from afar. And thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Mr. Kinziger? They say that leadership isn't about being in charge, it's about taking care of those in your charge. It's clear that for Bill Kinziger, that wasn't just a quote on a wall, it was a way of life. Bill Kinziger's journey through our district has seen him wear many hats. We first knew him as a teacher leader, the kind of educator who didn't just teach subjects, but taught students. Then as an athletic director, he showed us that the scoreboard mattered far less than the character of the athletes wearing the jersey. Finally, as our principal, he became the heartbeat of Ripon High School. But if you ask anyone here what defines Bill, they won't point to his titles, they'll point to his heart. His greatest gift has always been his interpersonal skills. Bill has a way of making you feel like the only person in the room, even in a crowded hallway. He listens with his eyes, speaks with sincerity, and remembers the small details that others might overlook. That warmth is anchored by strong beliefs. He never blew with the wind. He stood firm in his conviction that every child deserves a champion and every teacher deserves a cheerleader. He led with an open door and an even more open mind, possessing a rare ability to include others. He didn't just invite people to the table, he made sure they knew their voice was essential to the conversation. Perhaps his most lasting legacy is his commitment to developing people. Bill is a gardener of potential. He saw sparks in his colleagues that they hadn't yet noticed in themselves. He pushed them to lead, encouraged them to innovate, and gave them the grace to fail, all so they could reach their full potential. There are leaders across the district today who may only be where they are because Bill believed in them first. Bill, you're leaving this school better than you found it. But more importantly, you're leaving us better than you found us. As you head into retirement, we wish you the same joy, growth, and connection you've given us every single day. Thank you for your service, your faith in us, and personally, thank you for your friendship. Congratulations, and maybe we'll see you on the links. Fair enough. You are.
Thank you, everybody. It would be remiss if I didn't say thanks on behalf of the board. Your service is greatly appreciated. You're more than welcome to stay through the rest of the meeting. I'm sure you would all be thrilled to do that.
You can take your flowers on the table.
Oh yes, please, retirees, take your and a piece of cake.
Oh, yeah, you can take an extra cake.
Guys, have a good night. Sorry. Take care.
Don't want you guys to all have to like crawl around the table. You can extra one this one. The other by accident, they gave us six.
Oh, sorry. Thanks.
It's just you and us, right?
Were there any?
Right, if there were any visitors, comments, they would have signed up.
So we'll skip this one. All right. Just need to, are there any adjustments that anybody would like to make to the agenda? No? So that's not a voting item, is it?
Nope, just a default. If we wanted to,
We want-
the order of what's on the agenda, we could.
Or if anybody wanted to take anything out, we could send it.
Okay. All right. But nobody did, so we're good? All right. Ron, any contributions?
Yes, and I wish the robotics team were here to hear all of the donations, but I'm sure they are well aware. So the following donations were made to the district in the past month. From UW Milwaukee, a donation of $500 for participation in the 2026 Youth Tobacco Survey. From Emmanuel United Methodist Church of Ripon, $2,000 for Student Needs Fund. From Alliance Laundry Systems, $250 for the Ripon High School post-prom. From St. Catherine of Siena Human Concerns Committee, $914.54, contributed towards unpaid student meal balances. From Donors Choose, $353. It says an anonymous donor from Minnesota, a former RESD donor. That's what the details suggest. The Webster Family Fund donated $500 to the RHS Science Club. The Webster Family Fund donated $500 to the RMS Drama. Alliance Laundry System donated $10,000 to the RHS Robotics Team Worlds Competition. An anonymous donor also donated $10,000 to the Robotics Team World Competition. Hunter Farms LLC donated $1,000 to the Robotics Team World Competition. The Ripon Education Foundation grant donated $5,000 to the Robotics Team World Competition. The Ripon FFA alumni donated $1,000 to the Robotics Team World Competition. Accurate Controls donated $500 to the Robotics Team World Competition. Hy-Vee donated $500 to the Robotics Team World Competition. Cindy and Jerry McKay donated $500 to the Robotics Team World Competition. OPCO Incorporated, $500 to the robotics team. Carrie Zimmerman, $250 to the robotics team. Warren and Charlotte Sherman, $2,000 to the Ripon robotics team. Tracy and Bernard Landerman, $250 to the robotics team. Sherman and Mary LaViolette, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it. No, great. Excellent. Donated $300 to the robotics team. And Alliant Energy donated $1,000 to our robotics team for this competition. So thank you very, very much to our community. I know the robotics team shared that when they presented, but the list speaks for itself. So it's amazing that we could do something like that in such a short time. So kudos to the community and thank you very much. That's what this overwhelming.
Do you know if they have funds left over to roll into next year to help them?
That is a great question. I don't, but we can find out. Yeah, we can find out. I'm not sure, knowing about being in Houston for the time that they were, it starts to add up. Plus, you're booking a flight on very short notice, so I can anticipate it was probably pretty pricey. Jonah, do you have more information?
So Sarah Reeder, who was speaking for the Robotics Club, she raised well over $30,000 in 8 days. And I think the trip cost them less than 20. And she mentioned something about participating in the off season, and I think it's because they have some funding to do it.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay, great.
Great question.
Next item. New business, consider approval of the curriculum materials adoption for the RHS Math Department. Here's where do I need a motion to consider this, or do we discuss before?
No, motion second.
Okay, I need a motion to approve.
So moved. Oh, second.
So who was first? Stephanie was first?
Yeah.
And Denise was second? Okay. Go ahead, and I'm guessing that we'll open up the floor, and I'm guessing we'd start with Chrissy. Do you want to speak on anything? Is that the right way to go?
I guess if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
That would be a much better way to do it, thank you. So are there any questions?
I think my only question was, along the lines of like, so we'll have the mathematic, but does that doesn't eliminate all of the other testing, it just eliminates the math portion of the other testing.
In terms of state testing, are you talking about? Sure. Mathematic is the actual curriculum that they're going to be using, so there are assessments and things built into it, much like any curriculum materials that we use, but we still will be doing the gamut of state testing as well.
Maybe I was jumping ahead, maybe I was jumping ahead to a different one that I read. Yeah, I think I was.
Were you thinking about the screening one maybe? That would be, okay. Then I'm happy to answer when we get to
Okay,
that.
perfect.
So, no discussion other than that? Okay, go ahead and call for a vote. It says I must select moves. What was that? Forgive me,
Did you
I'm
put in
new.
did you type in who made the motion in a second?
I put it on paper.
It's gotta get typed in.
So I can do that.
You can select it.
So Stephanie was first and Denise was the second.
You just select it.
I will do that going forward. I am sorry. Okay.
voting?
No, voting is available now.
I don't have it.
I don't have it either.
Maybe that's it.
Do I need to hit send?
No, we should do it. The rest of us.
David, yours should be, you were not in sync, but you are now in cruise. And you have to refresh the page.
I don't have it yet.
And neither does Jessica.
We joined the meeting.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. There, now it is. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Nope, so this was just.
All right, looks like it passed unanimously with one absent. All right. Going on to the next item, consider approval of the food service management contract for 2026-2027.
I make a motion to approve the Airmark.
A second.
Denise, and a second by Jessica. Floor is open for discussion. Anything to bring forward?
I just want to thank Jonah for all the work he did.
I was just going to mention that Bree is here, and we just wanted to highlight that Aramark, staying with Aramark should give us a balanced Fund 50 budget. We've been running a deficit the last couple of years, including this year. We should have a balanced budget next year. There's a slight surplus forecast, but it just depends on the equipment that we replace and things like that throughout the course of next year. But it should preserve free breakfast for all students district-wide, maintain our current lunch and milk prices for families, provide wage increases for the current food service employees. And we've been really pleased with Aramark. Things have gone really well with them and their staff. And so, we're really grateful for this opportunity. This was kind of like, as we said to the finance committee, we were talking about it, kind of like, we're like, this is like a no-brainer, just when you look at the proposals. So.
Who is here?
Me.
Oh.
Bree, the food service director.
Okay. Thank you.
I didn't come prepared for a speech either, but I guess just thank you for trusting myself and Aramark for providing this service for another, hopefully, 5 more years. So, nourishing our students and powering potential. So,
Thanks for not thanking you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, I'll call for the vote. And everybody voted quickly, thank you. 8 to 0 with 1 absent, so that approves as proposed. Thank you.
Can I give a little shout out? I won't take a lot of time, but just the work that these ladies in the back of the room have done is unbelievable. Working with all of our student health plans and Bree's knowledge of that, and Kelly as well, just absolutely incredible. So if you ever get the chance to stop and have a conversation with any of them, they're just unbelievable.
Thank you.
Thank you. Me and her son have a secret handshake every morning.
It would be great if we all stop and have lunch once in a while.
You should, it's good food.
And actually, I'll pat Aramark on the back. You guys do a phenomenal job when we ask for catering support and during Teacher Appreciation Week, put lunches together for staff. So thank you for all that you do to take care of us adults.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Well, thank you for staying as long as you did. Again, I will make the plea, you're more than welcome to stay.
Thank you.
The rest of it, I completely understand.
It's been quite a long 13, 14-hour day.
Thank you. All right, on to the next one is consider approval of the audit services contract for 2026-2027.
Yeah, so
before, do we need a motion
sorry.
before we can have a discussion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, first motion by Tom, second from Jessica, thank you. All right, now we can have discussion.
So just wanted to highlight two things about this proposal from Erickson. This is the audit firm we had back in 2021, and the lead auditor that we had back then. This is also the lowest cost proposal. And so for those two reasons, it seemed like the recommendation to work with Erickson and Associates again. We know that they work with Kimberly Area School District. Ron and I have been communicating a lot with Kimberly, and so anyways, this is the recommendation to go back to that same audit firm. They have a really, they have a nice auditor, lead auditor, Jason, who would work with us again, so.
And we'll be sending a letter to our current auditors then, or did we?
We already did, yeah, so.
Why did we change in the first place?
From Erickson?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the school board is kind of, you know, especially Tom was telling us that we needed to, you know, test the waters a little bit. So when we went out to bid, when we went out to RFP, they actually didn't submit a very competitive proposal. At least, I think we had two that were lower cost than Erickson at that time when we went out to bid in 2021. So, so that's, I think, the biggest reason why we left at that time. But.
Any other discussion? All right, I'll call for a vote. And again, another unanimous acceptance with one abstaining, so on to the next item. Consider approval of the 2026-2027 open enrollment application decisions. Motion to proceed.
I move to approve the open enrollment recommendations.
Motion by Denise.
I'll second.
Thank you, Preston. Thank you, Denise. Discussion.
I just have a question, why, do we just deny a couple because the grades are full, or, like, what was the reason for denying the 4 incoming?
We did deny one because the grade was full. That was the current 7th grade, no, the
Yeah,
the 7th grade.
7th grade, incoming 7th grade, yeah. There are some other, like, very private reasons, I would say, for the others. I don't know, Becky, if you want to talk about, or what you can say about it. Or...
Yeah, there were a couple who had direct IEPs or who were in evaluation that per our board decisions in January, when we set the numbers for special education seats, which is 0, we have to deny those. And then I think there's one for sure that's more private.
Yeah, I have a question. One of the ones, there is one that we accepted for special education. I didn't see if we accepted them.
There's 2 of them. I had a question on that.
Yeah, and Jonah and I, well, there was a group there, we talked about that one because they were counted in the January numbers, because they were enrolled in the district having lived in Ripon, and then in February had moved to a different school district but still attended Ripon schools, because you can once the school year started. Because they were counted in our January numbers, we decided to keep them. And one has since dropped his IEP, was actually the day that we were meeting, he was having an evaluation, or reevaluation. So we did accept the one with the IEP because he was already counted in our January numbers.
So I'm seeing 2 that were approved that have special education.
Probably because at the time that we wrote this report, that would have included 2 of them, but one has since been dismissed from services.
Okay.
That's my line. That's all. Any other questions?
So I think you kind of already answered it, Becky, but I just want to kind of double check. So from the standpoint of special education resources, so once the student moved out of the district, but they have an IEP and they still have special education needs that need to be met, do we have the resources to continue providing those to kids who don't live in the district anymore?
What happens when a student moves out of the district when the school year is like that far into the school year, we kind of make
that determination as to what's best for that student to move to a new district or stay. And typically they stay on what we would call a tuition waiver. So we're asking kind of permission from the other school district for them to stay, sort of thing. As far as resources for that year, because they're already counted in our numbers for, like, say, this school year for these students in particular, we've already set programming for them. So I would say, yes, we have the resources for them this year. When we looked at, do we have the resources for them next year, we look at getting more per student from an open enrolled student with an IEP than we do for a district student with an IEP, if that makes sense. So not only were they already counted in our January numbers as a student, we kind of look at the amount that we're also getting in, weighing in that factor. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of person power within the special education department, so not just from a financial standpoint, but the actual people that are supporting these students, do we, I mean, you feel like we have enough people to withstand holding on to students after they've moved out of the district?
In this one particular case, for one student that we're talking about, because I knew the other one was going to be dismissed, yes, because we're already providing those services this year, which would be able to continue next year. However, we did have the same conversation in that meeting that if it was a student that would have had, say, higher needs, that would maybe in the next year use more resources than they currently are this year, then that would be a factor that we would have to definitely look into, yeah. But because that student was already in some general programming now, we felt like it would work for next year.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
David? You know, what are the legal issues if we've said we have no seats available, when are we allowed to admit students when we've told everybody we can't admit?
David, for the special ed specifically, when they're present on the January count date, the DPI considers them and encourages us to keep them as our students. And so they do not look at it as a legal problem at all for
their exceptions.
Yes. It's not an additional seat, it's maintaining.
Yeah.
That's how they would.
Yeah. And I don't necessarily either project that out to everyone because it really is on a year-to-year basis. Yep. If we have the availability to keep that person in that seat or not.
Any other questions, comments? No? All right, let's go ahead and call for a vote. And that one passes unanimously as well. On to the next item. Consider approval of the preliminary 2026 summer school staffing proposal.
I move to approve the preliminary 2026 summer school staffing proposal as presented.
Thank you, David. A second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Kate. Any questions or discussion? No? Then we'll move right away to a vote. And that passes with 7 in favor, 1 abstained, and 1 absent. On to the next one, consider approval of the 2025-2026 budget amendment, the year-end staff benefit recommendation.
I move to approve a one-time $340 contribution to eligible 2025-26 retirees and eligible staff members, 403B retirement accounts, and adopt the 2025-2026 budget amendment as presented.
Thank you, Denise. A second?
I'll second.
Second.
Thank you, Stephanie. Open up for discussion.
have a question, just a comment, to say thank you to our staff. What makes this possible more than anything was our shift in healthcare provider and the team of people, and Jason Duffy was one of them that was here earlier. That team that took it upon themselves to donate their time and investigate and analyze our situation and come with a recommendation made it possible for us to do this. I don't think we would have been able to do that had we not had that shift and had considerable savings in our for our budget this year. So I think it's great. I also appreciate the board's consideration for making it a consistent donation across the board rather than at differing levels as has been done in the past. So thank you for being open to that consideration. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that you can look at it any other way than like a win-win-win with saving money for the staff on premiums, the school district, and then the money gets returned to the staff in 403 contributions.
Anything else? Awesome, let's call for a vote. We have 7 in favor, 1 abstain, and 1 absent, so that approves. On to the next item. Consider acceptance of the professional staff resignations.
I move to accept professional staff resignations as listed.
Second. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Mr. Scott. Any discussion? Any comments?
I mean, I appreciate their service and wish them well I know they weren't easy decisions by any stretch and want to be supportive of them in the next step or for some focusing on being parent. What's wrong with that? Yeah.
What's Jake doing? Is he going to just different school districts?
He's going to be a lot closer. He's shortening up his commute.
Sure.
Had quite a long commute and was able to find something really close to home.
And with gas prices today?
Yeah.
100% agree. Any other questions? No? All right, I'll call for a vote.
First world problem, just. Amber, so
All right, that was a unanimous approval. Going on to the next item. Consider approval to hire professional staff. Any motions?
Motion to approve.
As written?
As written, it's a lot, it's an awful. Yeah.
So, Jessica was the first, Denise was the second. Thank you. Open the floor for any discussion.
These are all replacements for those retiring, correct? That's very.
Well, not all retirements. There
Or
were some
just
resignations.
replacements.
Yep. Yep.
That's quick.
What I would offer just as a blanket statement, feedback from principals has been we've had the great fortune of very deep candidate pools, which has not been something outside of this year that they've experienced. So excited about that. I want to say in excess of 20 candidates for multiple positions, which is outstanding.
Still working on high school math.
Yeah, well, that was today. Yeah, that one, right. That one's in the works. Correct.
Okay. Any other conversation? All right, let's go ahead and call for a vote. Again, 8 with 1 absent for unanimous approval. Thank you. All right, consider approval of part-time professional educator contracts for the 26-27 school year.
I move to approve part-time professional educator contracts for this 26-27 school year as presented.
Thank you, David. A second?
Second.
Tom, thank you. Any comments or questions? None? All right, let's go ahead and vote. Again, a quick vote, unanimous approval. Thank you. Consider approval of professional staff transfer.
I move to approve the professional staff transfer of Nicole from her current position to the MLSS lead as presented.
Thank you, Denise. A second?
I'll second. Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephanie. Comments, questions, discussion?
I guess I was thinking it would be a big job. I mean, is that, will this person have the capacity?
Yeah, so, good question, and I'll share maybe a little bit of background that can be helpful too. The shift came out of a lot of feedback that we got from staff, asking for, hey, we need to know, like, we need strengthened systems. So you'll obviously see, and then we talk about tier 1 is that universal level of support for our staff members. What does that look like? Tier 2 and tier 3 then kind of being those next layers of support for students. So we got a lot of staff feedback, particularly at the elementary level this year, to say we need help strengthening our systems. And so as Chrissy and myself and Becky kind of taking the lead on all of that MLSS work, we said, okay, what can we do? We each take a little piece of it. So our thought is putting somebody, especially somebody with Nicole's experience, at the helm of that. And we know there's going to be growing pains with that, right, as there is anytime you shift those positions, but putting somebody at the helm of that gives us a little bit more of that structure that we know that we need. And so, again, a lot of the feedback came from our elementary staff in particular, saying, this is what we feel like we're lacking. Perfect. Let's look at how we can shift that to make the biggest bang for our buck, so to speak. Not to diminish Nicole's role by any means to that, but how can we use what we have to essentially create systems that help our staff self-sustain, if that makes sense.
I think our goal always is to try to be proactive rather than reactive to situations, and by having those processes and those systems in place, it will allow us to do that. As Emmy said, there certainly will be growing pains as we establish this. It will, we don't want staff to feel like we are taking anything away from them, but instead working together to really develop those systems, to really put things in place so that as we move forward, we are being proactive rather than reacting to every situation as it comes to us.
I think it's a good idea.
Well, excuse me, and I would say too that the conversations that I've been a part of around this also have not, it's been a collaborative approach, right? So it's not pushing one person out on an island and saying, do this. It's saying, we want you to help coordinate and facilitate, but not to do that alone, because we're going to collaborate not only with Emmy or Becky or Chrissy, but also with Dr. Pullman-Becker, who does a lot on the academic side in terms of intervention and multi-level systems of support for people academically. And Nicole has that behavioral background that can help with that side of things as well.
And I think to cushion some of that piece where it is a big job, one of the things that we've helped develop is a 3-year plan of what is that rollout exactly going to look like. So year 1 is going to, my hope would be, largely feel still very comforting for our elementary, and that her focus entirely next year will still be on the elementary level. So in the same way that she's been split right now between those 2 buildings, she'll continue to really focus all of her work and efforts there. Year 2, then there's going to be a little bit more of a roll into the middle school. What does that look like? That year 3 is where we roll into the high school. So hopefully it doesn't feel like as dramatic of a shift, not only for Nicole in that big position, but for our staff as well.
And I think I'd also, there are no predeterminations in a strategic planning revision, but I suspect that systems of support and intervention, et cetera, will be a topic that has a measurable goal that comes out of our strategic plan, which can align to this work as well.
I think it would be nice at the end of the year, at the end of each of the next 3 years, to have a report on what's actually changed. As you figure it out and you go through a year of doing it, it'd be nice to know this is what it was before, this is what it is now, because I don't think any of us have a really good picture.
Specific data points that'd be helpful?
I don't know, I think it's more just, what does this actually mean on the ground, to the classroom, to the students, to the teachers? We hear lots of stories about things, and I don't know details of what happens now, really. I hear, snapshots of things. And I just think it'd be nice after you bring it in, just to have a kind of a report of, well, this is what it used to look like, this is what it looks like now.
I would be, I'd be interested in hearing staff feedback on the changes over the next 2 years and how they feel like things have been changing in terms of like their own feeling of support, but just culturally within the building. I think I would be really interested in knowing how that changes.
To both of your points, one of the things I'm perhaps most excited about is the opportunity for Nicole in particular to shift from that really student-facing support to like supporting our staff and developing their own skills and developing their own capacities and things like that. I think that's going to be, to your point, a really impactful piece for our staff, is not just to say, hey, Emmy needs this support as a student in my class, what can you do to kind of help them, as opposed to, Emmy, the teacher, really could use this support. That is ultimately going to pay dividends for the 10 kids in our class that would benefit from that particular thing. So that's one of the things I'm looking forward to. I love that idea, David, to create an annual report.
Yeah, and I think, one of the things we did this year that I could easily see something like you're talking about, David, happening next year. So when we did our mid-year report, what are the strengths, what's going well, what's something that didn't go like we thought, and how did we respond to it? Inviting Nicole to be part of that conversation, to give a, whether it be building specific or district specific, and, get on that same, or get aligned to that same reporting out. So it wouldn't just be once annually, we could get a mid-year and an end-of-year.
And I'm assuming with her experience, she's driving some of the strategy and the outcomes you're looking for.
Absolutely, and she's going to be an integral part, as Ron kind of prefaced, to what is this integration process look like for strategic plan as well. Her expertise, we've put her very much into behavior. Well, her expertise is also in the classroom as a teacher. So I'm just excited to kind of integrate that with the work that Dr. Holm and Dr. Zari laid the foundation for, and kind of see where it can take us. This is what we do in Ripon. We innovate and we try things and we see how it works, and I think getting the feedback from staff along the way is a great point.
Thanks.
Great discussion again. All right, let's call for a vote. Another unanimous decision, 8 with 1 absent. Going on to the next item. Consider approval of items 10.2 through 10.7 of the consent agenda.
I move the consent calendar be approved.
Thank you for the motion, David. A second?
Second.
Thank you, John.
Maybe we just call for,
Because there is no discussion, because we said we couldn't discuss. So there's the vote. And everyone said yes, so we are on to that. Next category, is that right? All right, info, no votes. The elementary science recommendation. Can I look at you for discussion on that one to start, Chrissy?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We had this conversation with our curriculum committee, just briefly, but I am happy to just kind of fill the board in a little bit. I had spoken several board meetings ago that we were having discussions with our elementary team that we were looking to move away from Project Lead the Way and go into something that would integrate a little bit more with our literacy, particularly knowing that literacy and the Act 20 requirements are taking up so very much of our time. We wanted wanted to maintain, however, that it was very important to us that we maintained that hands-on and that inquiry process. And the curriculum that we are recommending, which is mystery science, it does very much that. It is very thematic based, but it integrates really well with our literacy curriculum that we're already using. It does provide very engaging hands-on components that our students will still be very engaged with. And many of our elementary teachers have actually already been using components of it as a supplemental resource and spoke very, very highly about that. Project Blueberry, to be honest with you, it was very difficult to sustain. Many of the teachers that we had trained to be lead teachers to train our other teachers have since left since we have adopted it. It would be a substantial investment to have to train some lead teachers again. And it also, there is a yearly fee, participation fee for each of the schools, which is also very expensive, in addition to upgrading the kits and all of those pieces. So we just felt that mystery science was a better fit. It is aligned to the NGSS standards that we've adopted as a district. And again, just very engaging, great feedback from the teachers who are using it. So we're excited to recommend that.
How does it compare to FOSS?
It's actually very similar. It does come with kits for each of the units that has all of the supplies and things that you need, much like FOSS does. So very similar. Actually less expensive, which was great too. That was a definite motivation as well.
I like the name.
Mystery science.
Seems like contradictory though.
You want to say
Oh, it's mystery science. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, figure it out.
That's a mystery.
It is. It's a lot about the inquiry piece of it. Sure, which is really engaging for the kids.
Thank you for that. Any other questions, discussion? All right. No vote, we just go on to the next item, correct?
Correct.
I like those.
You're settling in.
Yep. All right. I think Chrissy's up again, but this one's on the K-8 math and literacy screener recommendation.
Absolutely. This one, it sounded like there might have been a few questions.
Yes,
about
this
this,
is
and I
the
think
one.
this is the item you're talking about, Jessica. So I am happy to answer questions. Again, the recommendation was just brought before the committee. We had an opportunity to talk about that. Again, a lot of these decisions come at the preface of Act 20, and the fact that we have an additional requirement to do an early literacy screener. We have been using iReady for well over a decade in our district, and we have made some changes to iReady since the adoption, including getting rid of the personalized pathways for students at the elementary, with the hope that that would provide greater buy-in and engagement for students at the middle school level. To be honest, that has not happened. Our middle school students do not love iReady either. So we are finding that even as we administer iReady, it still provides good data. Sometimes we're not always sure about the accuracy of it because we're not always certain how very hard our kids try, to be honest with you. Despite our efforts in motivating and providing incentives and things like that, especially at the middle school level, we find that our results don't always reflect a true picture of our students. So we have made some recommendations. We're very, very excited about a new math screener called Spring Math that we would be implementing into our district. This screener not only provides the diagnostic to determine where kids are at, but it also does provide an actual intervention program for our students and for our teachers. We love the fact that our math screener is not computer-based. We are really excited about that. That was very important to our teachers as we were looking at different things. Basically, what our new math screener does is if you administer the diagnostic or the screener to a whole group of students, the teacher quickly enters the results in the computer, and The computer actually develops the lessons that the teacher would print out then and use with the students. So it provides a weekly intervention for students who are identified in need of different skills. So it's really cool. We're really excited about that. We have the ability to use that actually district-wide, including at the high school, particularly like with our special education students. Again, it not only gives us diagnostic information, but it gives us the tools to do research-based interventions, which is something that we have been lacking district-wide, especially in the area of math. So we're really excited about that. In terms of literacy, like I said, K through grades 3, we actually use the Ames Web Early Literacy Screener, which we are required to do. Middle school and high school would then use IXL as their literacy screener, so we would still have similar diagnostic results to share and to be able to track student progress and growth. It's really the recommendation is to eliminate iReady, which I do not hear too many people complaining.
I am very happy to hear it. There is a national movement to get rid of iReady.
I've read that too.
And it's particularly teachers and parents and students don't like it. Administrations have been less on board with that, but the people who actually have to use it, and it uses a phenomenal amount of wasted time.
Yes, and that's exactly why we moved away from it at the elementary in terms of just having students go in a personalized pathway. So we know that the best instruction happens from our teachers, and we live that every day. And I know that we are still using personalized pathways at the middle school, like during advisory as additional practice, but we also have been very intentional on providing that instruction from our teachers as well, and that's really important to us here in Ripon. So we're excited about the recommendation that's coming forth.
So is it just in, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, so I don't know what I'm asking, so I'm going to preface it that way.
Sure.
But we collect a lot of data. Is this going to, are we going to be able to integrate any of the other data with this, or are we?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. So we'll
Again,
be able
just
to-
like iReady was one measure that we used to show growth across the district, we still will be able to use these other measures that we are putting into place to be able to show that. We won't have comparable data because obviously it's a new screener, but moving forward, we absolutely will. And again, for us, our story is never just one data point. We use state testing, we use local data, we use common assessments within our units every day. That's really what our story is. It's not just based off of one piece.
So iReady would go away completely, and you'd use IXL for like math, or for science and social studies, and then this spring math for math.
IXL does, they do offer lessons in science and social studies. It's not a screener, a diagnostic screener, but it does provide teachers the opportunity to assign lessons to students to support some of the learning that they are doing in class.
Okay.
So yes, it does support that as well.
Okay.
We would be using IXL at the middle school for the reading diagnostic data. Teachers would probably give the math diagnostic also because it does then allow them to, again, much like iReady, still be able to assign lessons for additional support for students that may need it. But spring math would be our primary data point for students in grades K-8 and special ed. If that makes sense.
I'd love to see the less and less on the computer.
Yes, we're excited about that too.
All right. Again, good questions, good discussion. Anything else? All right, on to the next item. Director of Technology job description. I'm assuming that's, I should go to you and not to
Well,
you.
yeah, so actually questions can go to Travis for sure. But the next 6 possible upcoming items are just some ongoing work from our director team to look at their job description. What we noticed is that they were anywhere from 8 to 10 years since being reviewed. So we took a crack at reviewing them and shared that language with all of you, and just wanted to put this on as possible upcoming to give you an opportunity to ask any questions if you had specific questions about why something was added or taken out. We can address those for you. So Travis's his job description was just listed first. So if we went through one by one, it would probably be the easiest. So if there are questions about any of the updates to Travis's job description, feel free to ask. And if you have them, if not, we can move to the next and the next and the next.
I just have a question, in general about all of them. Some of them had, as a last page, essential duties, like where you had to be able to lift so many pounds. It was one page that was added to some of them. I'm wondering if, to be consistent, we would just have that on all of them, just so that
The physical demands.
it's the physical demands.
Okay, great question.
I also noticed, some of them were director of, and some of them were people services director. So to have consistency, have it be like,
I think we always director of.
We all, yeah, when we made our
Okay.
changes, we all changed it to director of.
okay, because some of them still had it like the other.
Maybe in the headings, but I don't
Sure.
think within.
Okay, yeah, because like curriculum director.
All right, so no specific discussion on this one. I'm going to go to the next item. The Director of Pupil Services job description. Any additional things there? I like this. Next item. So this one would be Director of Curriculum and Instruction. If I were to be consistent. Any questions on comments? No? Go to the next one. Director of Special Education. Awesome.
Well, just, I mean,
You want me to read previous?
yeah, so if you actually look at it,
Okay.
point 11, add from Director of Pupil Services job description. These aren't completely edited, right? I mean,
No, it hasn't been updated yet. We highlighted areas that we wanted to change.
so that add from Director of Pupil Services job description is the sentence that comes after that, what's being added?
Yes, yeah. I just wanted to know where it was coming from.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. Right.
Mhm.
Good point. All right, where did I hate the previous, Travis, you know, I'm not able to, my technique. Oh. Sorry about that. All right, so the Director of Special Education, can we move on? All right. Sorry about that, thank you. Business manager? Nothing there? All right. This is the best part of it. Director of Buildings and Grounds, job description? I will say if I ever have to do this again, I'm bringing a mouse, not this keypad.
So we saw that they were changing supervision.
No, that's a higher level, instead of 2 levels down from you as well.
Well,
That's
it's
what's
just,
been recently.
yeah, it's just changing who the direct report for that position will be. So how do you, where do you
So-
see the level piece?
Well, because it's now reporting to the superintendent, before it was reporting to the business manager, who also reports to you, presumably. So to me,
Oh,
it's-
I see.
It's the second level down, and now it's been raised to, you know, the same
level as the business manager. Or is it more just?
Or same level as any administrator, I guess is the way I look at it.
Yeah,
Like
so
as a
that's-
principal.
so now that it actually is a administrative team position.
Well, I thought it always was.
Well, at one point it wasn't, so that's why I think this is just bringing it in line with what it actually is the way to be treated.
Oh, got it, okay, yeah. That, I mean, the thinking and the conversation around that is, I've been having conversations with Brian about his goals, so it would make sense that he would report to me.
All right, I'm sorry I got click happy because I was ahead. Ron, superintendent reports, the info?
Yes, so legislative updates, the first piece, I'm sure you're all very well aware of the surplus bill and what didn't happen with it. I do want to invite you to share your feelings with our state senators and our representatives. I think that's what a democracy does, right? Like, we continue to voice our opinions and share how we feel. So if you are so inclined, I invite you to do that. I'm always kind of an optimistic person, so I'm hopeful that this isn't the end of the road, that it's just another speed bump, and we'll continue to engage in some conversations. I'm going to advocate myself, so if there's anything I can do to assist you in that, please let me know. Any other comments, questions about that before I slide down to the Friend of Public Schools Committee conversation?
If you wanted to send something to all the board members at least that would have some like suggested language or something like that that you would want us to potentially send on to representatives, that would be helpful.
Oh, awesome. Okay, happy to do that.
Jolene had sent me a template for letterhead. I would prefer to have it on letterhead.
Oh, sure. I can share a Ripon Area School District letterhead, so that way you could draft your letter on that to be able to send. That's what you're asking
Yes.
for, right?
Okay. If we're sending it on letterhead, do we need to send it for approval though? Like, so that we're not shooting something off that
Well, that's what I was
maybe
wondering
wouldn't be
about.
right? Because then if we're taking a political stance,
I see what you're
do
saying.
we really want to have it on letterhead? Or would we
You
want
could
to
just-
send it as a private
I
citizen?
think it's a private citizen unless the board were to authorize
Like a full letter from the whole
Yeah,
board
we could
signed
like-
by everyone on the board versus individual private citizen.
Good point. Do you have a preference? Would you rather do that individually, or would you rather craft something as a board?
I prefer that you send a template that we could send out as an individual,
Okay.
But not necessarily on letterhead.
but not
That's
necessarily.
what I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that leaves too much for interpretation.
So I'm hearing template with talking points.
Yeah.
Okay. Happy to do that. The Friends of Public Education Committee, I'm just looking for members from the board to help make that decision. So it's, if you're interested in having the conversation about who we would nominate and why, that happened, I believe, last year it was myself, Tom, and Stephanie, and we met, I think it was in July before the board meeting, to talk about possible nominees.
Yep.
And then we decided on the police department, and that was it. It was in terms of committees to serve on, this is a one and done, 40-minute tops kind of thing. So if anyone is interested. Yeah. If anyone is interested, I'm happy to take names down. I know Lori told me she would be interested, so she is one of the people. Okay, Denise, anyone else?
I would again, unless there's somebody new that wants to.
Okay.
I'd provide you with some suggestions.
Well, then, sure.
I provide a nomination suggestion, but then I don't want to name him.
Fair, and then just do that. So I have Lori, Denise, and Steph. Anybody else?
And I think if you have suggestions,
Just send them to the four of us.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. The CNI committee summary. I know a lot of the items were also action items or possible upcoming. Is there anything Chrissy, that we didn't get a chance to discuss that should highlight from the summary that was shared?
The only other thing that is really on there that we talked about is just the communication going out regarding next year and the work that's going to be taking place this summer in terms of curriculum and committee work. That was really it. So admin is deep, trying to plan and finish out this school year, while also planning for the summer and the 26-27 school year. So that was really it.
Got it. Were there any questions from anybody on the board about the summer issue? All right. Hearing none. So operational referendum update. What I have for you. So we shared the themes that came from the staff feedback from our 4 visits to all the brick and mortar schools. A few Odyssey staff members were able to join us virtually and listen in. So we were happy that they had the opportunity to share their feedback as well. So I shared those themes with all of you, and I'll just talk about the process a little bit, and then we can talk about themes as much as you want to, or inquire about that. The next step for us after talking with staff is now Jesse and Emmy and Jonah and I are going to be organizing some community sessions similar to the sessions that we did for staff, and presenting similar information and asking for feedback from our community. So we are in the planning phases of that to try to create some dates at the evening time, also maybe on a weekend during the day, and target some specific groups. So that's the next planning phase for us. And the next, I guess, iteration of gathering some feedback to add to the staff feedback to help all of you determine what our resolution question will be for our upcoming operational referendum. So just so you have that preview, what questions do you have or comments about the feedback from staff?
I noticed you had that there was physical space concerns at Murray Park. Is that
Well,
sharing?
Yeah, so that's an interesting one. In the conversations with Jesse Johnson and the staff at Murray Park, we didn't hear that verbally when we were talking. It was more in the written. And what I would say is, because there are some spaces that are shared by 2 people at different times throughout the day, is what Jesse thought that might have been. Because in terms of enough room for students, we think there are. She thought this might have been more of a staff thing, but we can dig into that. And I would say we didn't have an overwhelming, huge number of respondents at each site, so it could be very specific to a particular person, which could be why it was shared, or it could be bigger than that. I just don't know. Right.
I don't have anything about these. I think it's really important when we get feedback from the community, because there are things that we need that the community doesn't want to pay for. And I think that's something that we really thoughtful about in constructing the thing. There's some things that the community is willing to vote for, and there are some things that the community is not really willing to vote for. But that doesn't mean there aren't things that we need to find money for. So I think that feedback is going to be really important to give us an idea of what the community is likely to vote for.
Yeah, and what their priorities are, right? I think that's ultimately what we asked our staff. What are the priorities what are the things you'd like us to prioritize? And we want to ask a similar question of the community. What is important to you? For example, is staff retention, or existing class size, or what program availability?
It tends to be curriculum and technology.
Usually, yes. But we will definitely ask and gather that feedback, and be sure to bring it back and share it with you.
else I can answer or clarify? Okay. And I think the last thing is our board, the board retreat that you asked about for August. So I reached out to Dr. Knightsky's assistant, and we're looking to coordinate in early to the middle of August. The only feedback I received from any members of the board about an absolute non-starter was the week of August 24th, and I want to say thank you, because that's going to be a really busy week for all of us as we welcome staff back. So if there are any other dates at the beginning or middle of August that absolutely will not work, please let me know at your earliest convenience, because what Dr. Knightsky is looking to do is, I think this will be a welcomed bit of information if you hadn't seen it already. His session will be 90 minutes with us. And he is willing to adjust that start if 5 o'clock is easier for everyone's work schedule. He's happy to start at 5 or even 5:30, knowing that it'll just go 90 minutes. So anything you can share that way to help me help his assistant, I would be appreciated. Is there any idea, is there a preference on a start time? Even if we don't know a date specifically?
I think 5 or after that, 5 or after.
5 is okay, or would you prefer 5:30?
5 is fine with me.
All right. Well, that is what I have. I know Dr. Knightsky is excited to be able to work with you. Chris sits on the CC6 board as our representative, and I think you'll enjoy he does a lot of work for strengths coaching with our admin team, and we enjoy him, and I think you will enjoy him as well.
He's got just a little bit of energy.
He was born caffeinated, that's what I'll tell you. So that would conclude my report. So thank you.
The next item then would be Jonah, the general fund interim budget report.
Yeah, general fund is running well. Expenses match where we were last year at the same percentage. Revenue is up slightly because we received more of our revenue this year from local rather than state. Food service is the next one, and food service is running at about a $42,000 deficit. We projected about a $62,000 deficit, so I think it's running roughly where we would expect it to be at this time. So, yeah, both of the funds are doing well, I would say.
Any questions on either one for Jonah? Thank you for keeping it short and concise and to the point. And next action would be to go to a closed session for several items. Can we get a motion to do so? Sorry, but Katie had a hand up and she beat you to it. Would you like to be a second, David? Perfect. So we have a motion by Katie, a second by David. Call for the vote. And it looks like we will go into closed session.